The research project that we're working on is on silks in lepidopterans, which are butterflies and moths, and to understand how silk, the genetics of silk, and also the structures of silk differ between species, and to understand what kind of mechanisms genetically lead to these different properties of silks. We're using genetics to study the silks, the caterpillar behaviors, and so forth, because we have all these tools now. There's a lot of genetic data that's available that wasn't available in the past. And so now we're using those tools to really uncover the mechanisms that connect between the molecules and the actual structures that we see and the behaviors that are associated with that. Evolution is really important for this project because it kind of sets the framework for understanding how the silks have kind of changed over time, how they become these different properties and things. And without that framework, it becomes difficult to kind of piece things together. So, for example, when did this type of silk evolve, or when did this genetic mechanism that leads to a different type of silk evolve? And you can get that whole picture when you have an evolutionary tree. So, thinking in the context of evolution is very important. One of the things that we're doing in this project is to look at different caterpillars from different species of butterflies and moths. So we have a rearing lab here at the McGuire Center in which students are taking care of the caterpillars, we're observing them, and we're also taking the silk from the caterpillars to try to characterize them. But what we don't know is that, the genetics of all the other different species of butterflies and moths that produce silk. There's over 160,000 species, and we know that for one of them so far. So by looking at the material properties of the silks, and then also looking at the genetics at the same time, we can tie those two together and really get an idea of how the genetics affects the structures. We're really interested in this because we think that silk can be used not only for clothing and things like this, but also for other disciplines. So we're very interested in this field, and we're already seeing so much diversity in the silk types. There's a lot of promise in this area.